So we build tax optimization, and we build estate planning and thinking about long-term scenario modeling and fee visualization. And
welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Alexander with us, which is a serial tech entrepreneur. And is a tech entrepreneur passionate about AI, finance, and autonomy. He founded Portfolio Pilot, an AI financial advisory with over 30 billion in assets on the platform. And previously, he founded and sold Aries Automation, worker on the NASA Mars helicopter, and went through a Combinator. He has raised over 300 million in venture capital, and he was recognized by Forbes on the 30. So Alexander, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend to tech entrepreneurs to make the first million?
I love it. Harry, thanks for having me. I love
Pleasure.
First question, dive right in. Don't waste any time. I think the biggest thing, number one, is focusing on just talking to your users as much as you possibly can. Live in their house if you can. Work with them side by side. I think it's so easy. I mean, honestly, I feel like I made this mistake 2 times in a row with both businesses. With Iris Automation, we talked to a bunch of users. We built in a collision avoidance system, computer vision algorithms for drones, commercial drones, package delivery, mining exploration, thinking about agricultural surveys. And we talked to a bunch of users, what they really wanted, collision avoidance. Okay, very hard challenge. I worked at NASA before, computer vision, some patents, papers. Let's build this computer vision solution. So we spent a year, 2 years building this thing, working with embedded GPUs, optimizations, testing, putting drones in the air, flying them across aircraft. And then went back to these users and we said, look, we built the collision avoidance system. It's not perfect, but are you ready to buy this? And they said, no, I don't want a collision avoidance system. I was like, what? This is crazy. You specifically said this. This is the number one challenge in the drone space. And they said, well, what we really want is beyond visual line of sight approvals from the government. We assume your collision avoidance system can get us the regulatory approvals. We want to fly more than 1 mile away from an operator.
Absolutely.
And so then we spent the next 2 years, working with the FAA and other civil aviation authorities, proving out that our system could get the regulatory approvals. And then, it turns out that they didn't quite want the regulatory approvals. They wanted, something else. And so it kind of felt like we would go away, build something, go to the customers, build something. And after 5 years, we finally figured out the actual thing they wanted, which
what they really wanted, right?
A packaged thing, that they could use and go fly. No one actually wanted the approvals. No one actually wanted the collision avoidance system. And we could have figured that out in the first 3 months of the business. Like, there wasn't anything that we needed to do. Like, we didn't ask the right questions. We could have really lived and dug, we could have dug way deeper into what people were really wanting. Even with Portfolio Pilot, right? We've built an AI financial advisor, and we talked to lots of people. What do you want? I want to increase my expected returns, right? Who doesn't want to increase their expected returns? So we built forecasting models, and we built, a portfolio management system and back testing. And my co-founder came from Bridgewater and, had run these kinds of models before. And this is, what I wanted myself. And same mistake. We showed it to people and they said, no, that's bad advice. I'm not going to buy this stock. I'm not going to buy this ETF. So why not? Our models are telling you. They said, well, I don't know. I need to trust you. And what I really want is, I don't trust your AI to come up with recommendations for me and things to buy. There's 1,000 other Motley Fool and Wall Street Bets and, Jim Cramer and everybody else that's telling me what to buy. I want personalized advice and optimization opportunities, for me and my specific scenario. So we build tax optimization, and we build estate planning and thinking about long-term scenario modeling and fee visualization. And finally, after 3 years, we've landed on something that, you can upload your portfolio and your financial situation. It gives you an assessment. It shows, here's everything that's good. Here's everything that's bad. Here's how you compare it to everybody else. And, if you want to pay $20 a month, then you can get actual fiduciary financial advice. We can find you some optimization opportunities. And like, that's the thing after so many iterations, and I've probably had thousands of conversations now with users. That's the thing that like people really want, and I think, that's number one, just talk to the users, figure out the thing that they truly, really want. And do you want
because
that, understand
sometimes
their thing.
you show them the product, they say, oh, I will buy it. Did they really want to buy it in that form?
We
So you have
could
to go.
have shown up with prototypes or
It's exactly what you said,
or...
Alexander. Move to the house if you have to. Get obsessed with those first clients. And but again, in the tech is you have to narrow down, because if different people start to tell you different things, you cannot afford to pay all the developers. So you have to be listening to all your clients to give you feedback, but also exactly like you said, you also have to start to narrow down what will be your niche, because otherwise you start to develop what everybody thinks, and
I think it's very
tough,
easy
right?
to think like, how do
To
I get my first
deviate,
1,000 clients, right? Like, I think to get people paying you money is incredibly difficult.
Oh my
Clients,
God,
like, you have crossed
yeah.
a massive threshold.
Yeah.
Get people to pay you. Get your friends to pay you, right? Your friends are much less likely, I don't know about your friends, but my friends are much less likely to pay me things. They say, Alex, give it to me for free, or, I'll try it out for you and give you feedback, but, fix it first before I'm actually going to start paying for it. Getting 10 people to actually pay you, I think you end up realizing, like, we had one of the biggest problems we needed to solve to get the first 10 people to pay us, which I really did not expect, was we needed to figure out a way to import people's accounts in a, secure, reliable way. And you might think like, okay, you can do this with Plaid, just sign up for an API. But like, we ended up having to allow people to manually edit securities, remap certain things, add proxies. We need
It's
to
a
be able
lot
to
of
allow
personal
people
information, personal
problems.
that one, yeah. So
Take a screenshot and import it, type it out manually for some people. What a pain. Not anywhere close to like our big differentiator in the financial advice, but like, we needed to solve that one annoying technical problem to get someone to pay us for financial advice.
okay.
And so I think the more you
Listen
stick
to
with
your
like
listen to your clients is key. Okay, so then what will be the second step? Okay, we get it that if you need to move into your client's house, you have to. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%. But after what happened? What people can do next?
I think the first
After
one
the tech
is,
entrepreneur move to the house of their clients or the first few
I think the
clients,
first one,
what
move to
else
the
they should
house.
do?
I think the
I love
second
this
one
concept. Yes.
is wrapped up into that. But I think it's like, dive into this, like, figure out what the actual problem is that you're solving, and be
And what they
fair about
really
it.
want, because what you move, the fact that you move into the house, that doesn't mean that you know what they really want.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.